Hey everybody, James and Tammy off the road. God, it's stinking awful weather here. What was the temperature yesterday?
I think it was 88 when we got there, and then it was 74 in an hour and a half later.
And what was it this morning? In Pampa, just up the road, it was 37 degrees. Real. Crazy. It rained all day long.
We were 44 in a 36 wind chill factor this morning.
You know who'd like this rain, don't you?
Who?
All those people up in Oregon who are getting a terrible situation. I've got some friends up there. Yeah, California too. Arizona, I think too. God, it's awful time for them. Anyway, enough of that.
I got my hair done, can y'all tell?
She's got it highlighted. That's good.
Only my hairdresser knows.
So, Michael Baton says, we're trying to cut the videos down to 10 minutes. Michael Baton says...
And that's real hard for James.
Yeah, right. Michael Baton says, 10 minutes isn't enough. This isn't click and bait stuff. It's educational. We all come with our notebooks. Okay, well that's nice. Well, I mean, I think it is tough to get much in 10 minutes, especially when we have a preamble like we've had right now that's already in it for a minute and 15 talking about nothing. So, let's get on with it. Blah, blah. Oh, here's one that Tammy will like. Ezra Zara says, Tammy 1, James 0.
Girl power.
Ezra, I'm deleting you from our site.
I like you. I like you a lot, Ezra. A whole bunch. You're going to have to call and we're going to have wine someday.
Elizabeth Gardner says, hey James, fluffy Frenchies have been in existence for about 5 years in Europe. Perhaps 1 year in the USA, but 5 in Europe. Yeah, I think that's right.
It's been about 3 years in the US.
Yeah, well, it definitely has been in Europe first, hasn't it? Now, we had a friend, Annette Woods. She produced a fluffy 10 years ago by accident. How about that?
And thought something was wrong with it.
Yeah, sold as a pet.
Annette, we love you.
We do.
She's been around a long time. She knows a lot.
Okay, I'm not going to use the B word. Is it really a girl that takes too long to reach her peak, even though she's already ovulation stage? This is Aaron Metalis. My first test was Monday, resulted in an 8.8. Then 2 days later it was a 10. And taking a test 2 days from now. So she wants to know what the take is. Well, I mean, so the normal progression is the dog's sub 1 for the first 5 days of its heat. Heat being the first day of blood is day 1. Then it raises 1 point a day to about a level of 5 ovulation around day 9. Then it almost doubles every day. And then it very quickly gets to, within 2 days, it gets to 50, and that's where you say, all right. But young dogs and old dogs don't follow that necessarily, especially first timers. They tend to have what are called split heats, where the whole thing gets rolling and then it slows up. And you just got to continue doing progesterone tests every few days. It can get expensive to catch it because, you know, if you're not at a 15, you're not getting a pregnant dog. So we commiserate with you, but you just got to keep on testing. What is that noise back there?
The boys. Quit. Y'all are being terrible. Oh, what you been driving? Boys.
Have you ever had a female with vaginitis? I think my Merle has. The vagina is swollen and red. I think it's something to do with the surgical insemination. Okay. So, right. So this is not a dog. If this hadn't said anything about surgical insemination, I'd have just said, well, okay. Yeah, it may just be because, well, let me start this again. If your dog has anything that you're worried about, the first thing, I keep harping about this, the first thing you do is...
I wasn't listening because I'm listening to the dogs.
The first thing you do is take temperature. Always. Same thing with you and I. If we're feeling sick, what's the first thing we do? Well, the first thing we should do is take a temperature. Let's see if we've got a temperature above 100. Well, for us, something above 101 is something you really would be feeling pretty bad. Give you cause
I don't think I'd be crawling out of bed at 101.
Right, with a dog, 101.5 is the magic number. Above that, we've got a problem. It's time to find out what's going on. If you don't know what's going on, you don't know what to do, go to your vet.
Go to your vet.
Vaginitis, look, if you've inseminated a dog, especially with a vaginal AI, it's quite possible to get bacteria up in the vaginal canal and cause an infection, vaginitis, or worse yet, pyometria, which is, in Latin, is pus-filled bag. the uterus is full of pus. Very dangerous situation. So, vaginitis, well, you could just go flush the dog with some, what do you call the stuff for women's stuff at Walmart? Massagills, right?
Douche.
Yeah, a douche, right. I do, thank you. A douche. Or you can make your own up with...
You need a douche.
Yeah, you can make your own up with some vinegar and water, right? Stop it.
Vinegar and water. It's
vinegar and
natural.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just do that. I mean, if it's just a little bit of vaginitis...
Or you could go get fields of flowers.
Fields of flowers. Make it smell nice. Why not? I mean, you never know, right? But either way, whatever
Vinegar and water, it's the natural way.
But, look, the thing is, if you think there's vaginitis, take the temperature. Above 101.5, go to the vet. If it's stinky, probably go to the vet. Or at least, at the very least, do
if you get a yellowish
mucus discharge, anything like that, that's a cause for concern because you don't. That is an infection you don't want to get out of control.
No, you want to go to the vet, get an antibiotic.
So with the surgical AI, that was really at the top end of the dog, not the bottom end. It's right there in the uterus, so it shouldn't have caused vaginitis. But since you had some surgery done, and since it required an incision, and since a bacterial infection inside the dog could get serious very, very quickly, I would recommend if the temperature is elevated, go to your vet. What DNA test do you folks do for your pups? This one's for you.
We do animal genetics.
You do?
Sometimes they do a coupon. Keep an eye out for those. Google animal genetics, and they'll let you know when they're having their coupons.
Typically in the spring and the autumn. You do a complete coat color test, which is normally $130.
On your puppies. Do it on
That's
your
fine.
adults. If you're not for sure what your female is, like I had a woman tell me today, well, my male's blue. Maybe he is lilac, and I said, no. I said,
It's a great point.
let's just go have a DNA test
in fact,
done.
you're answering a question that was asked earlier on
It's
about
fun
this.
to find out what the DNA is.
Well, I think it's fundamental. If you're going to breed a dog, you need to know what your dog is. And by the way, the breeder that sold you the dog, I can believe, because I see it all the time.
Yeah.
Look, if
They should be doing the DNA for you.
If you're mucking around with Frenchies, that's fine. But if you're selling Frenchies of a particular kind, you need to know that the particular kind is true.
Yeah, you need to make sure that you're getting what you're paying for.
Right, because you can pay a lot.
They could be telling you not the truth.
You could get what you thought was a chocolate dog that should have cost you $5,000, and in fact it's a brindle. It should have cost you $1,500.
Right.
And I'm not saying that people are trying to cheat. It's just people don't know. But look, I think it behooves you if you should ask for what the DNA of a dog is, and if they can't provide it, then
Then you didn't need to buy from them anyway.
Well, maybe.
They can't provide it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Especially if it's an expensive dog. I mean, if you're buying it for the next door neighbour and they're almost giving the dog away, that's a whole different story.
Unless they can prove what the parents are, then
right. And you need to do that too, right? We know the DNA in all of our dogs, and because of that, we have a darn good idea about what we're going to produce, or what one of our stud dogs will produce if you use them, because that's the key towards picking a stud dog out, right? Because look at our stud dogs. A low end of our stud dogs is $1,000, and a high end of our stud dogs a heck of a lot more than that. Why would you use the more expensive dog?
Now that we have two fluffies, visual
fluffy dogs. I mean, some of these dogs are going for, believe it or not, over 100. Not our dogs, but some of these dogs are going for over $100,000.
Yeah, not ours.
Not ours.
Yeah,
no.
that's crazy.
But look, if you're buying a $100,000 dog, I'd want to make sure.
Good job if you're getting that. So
Yeah.
But we don't.
Have you ever considered Grinch Frenchies? What the heck is
Grinch?
that? Yes. You know?
Oh.
That is Elizabeth Gonzalez is asking about Grinch Frenchies.
Are they the ones that are hairless that look?
Oh, is it?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I don't know either.
I don't want a
It's
hairless
not a good day for a hairless Frenchie being 30 degrees outside.
No. Their skin looks not right.
Javier Gonzalez, this might be Elizabeth's hubby, asks, I have a platinum female, she's Coco, 80, big D, little E, no pied, no brindle. Alright, so that dog is a chocolate, what we would formerly call an untestable chocolate dog, with tan points, carries a copy of blue, and it's cream. Oh, it is a chocolate covered in cream. That is actually a champagne. Rating to, which doesn't, no brindle, mating to a BB which is testable chocolate. And then she puts down big B, little b, so I'm not sure what she's meaning.
I'm lost. She's breeding to this?
Yeah, little d, blue dog. Come on, copy of cream.
You've lost me.
Yeah, okay, well I can answer real quick. What would you get? Well, the answer is that since you've got little d's on both sides, you're going to get blues. Nope, only d's on one side. Well, you're going to get some blue dogs and some not blue dogs, some cream dogs and some not cream dogs.
Video.
We're going to make this thing go twice as long because of your friend.
Oh.
What would a dog that is...
I thought it doesn't...
capital E-M, capital E, which is not cream, KBKY, copy of brindle, AYAY, basic fawn, and it's a lilac produce. Well, it depends what dog you put it with, but it will produce blue dogs, lilacs, chocolates, and brindles. Orlando from Dallas. Is it absolutely necessary to only breed pups with AKC registration? Example, you have 2 purebred dogs. One doesn't have AKC registration, and they are placed in homes as pets. You want to have a stab at that one?
Well,
Will I have a drink of my rum and coke? I'm not driving.
thank goodness.
One of the reasons I do these videos is one day I'm going to get into a terrible wreck with Tammy's terrible driving, and I'll have video information on exactly what happened. And we're going to have a GoFundMe page because I'm going to be all stoved up in a wheelchair like this, sitting on a straw trying to do these videos. I'll be relying on you to help me out.
You're about to lose it.
Oh, see? Alright, so you drink. Okay, you got 2 dogs. One or both. They're purebred dogs, right? One of them or both of them on AKC. So you're not answering it, so I guess I'm going to have to do it.
Yeah, because I'm watching this truck.
Okay, well, so the answer to this is, look, to get AKC registration on any litter that you have, both dogs have to be AKC registered and, of course, be the same breed. You can't register an AKC Dalmatian to an AKC Chihuahua and produce a dog that's going to get AKC registration. So 2 Frenchies, both got AKC, easy to get AKC registration.
Is that what our person asked? If you could...
No.
Oh, okay.
If you have 2, you can breed any dogs you want together. Now, there's no rules or regulations that say you can't breed a Dalmatian to a Chihuahua. You better make sure it's a male Chihuahua to a female Dalmatian.
James, that's being silly.
I know it is,
Yeah,
but the point here is, look, if you don't have AKC registration on both sides, the AKC is completely out of the picture. They have no dog in the hunt.
Yeah.
They're not going to give you any paperwork.
I know on the poodles and the golden retrievers and things like that.
Yeah, golden doodles. No
AKC
registration.
AKC.
Yeah.
AKC, you can. Because
So
you don't have to register.
So just because a dog doesn't have AKC doesn't mean it's a purebred Frenchie.
But you can.
Right? And you can do whatever you want. It's just that you're not going to get AKC registration.
Well, you have a question in mind in the back of your head that is it really full blood? And when you have AKC, you know it is.
Yeah, that's a good point. So if you want to show a dog,
you have. Well,
and he wants
you
to
can
be.
use CKC shows.
Well, exactly. Yeah, that's right. But if you want to show a dog an AKC ring, it has to be
But
AKC registered.
I think CKC, you just take a picture and send it in, and it's
That's
like,
a bit more than that. It's a bit more than that, but it's not a lot more than that. You can definitely, yeah. But the point here is, look, you can do what the heck you want. What'll happen is that if you don't have AKC registration on dogs, you're going to end up probably selling dogs to pet homes, which is absolutely fine. And there's nothing wrong with it. You won't get as much money. Typically, you lose about a third of the value. If that doesn't matter to you, then absolutely, you don't have to have the AKC endorse what you're doing. You just have to have the AKC
But
endorse.
We do.
Yeah, we do. We do. But
make that clear. We do.
Absolutely, all of our dogs are AKC.
All our dogs are AKC.
And anything that we produce, it gets full registration rights too. The only time we hold back registration rights is if we have a dog that we think has a problem, and that's going to go to a pet home, and it is going to get neutered, and at that point it won't have full rights, and it will be sold for a lot less money too, or maybe even given away. This is a good one. Leanne Patine, hi. Could you talk about reasons Frenchie breeders lose puppies? I ask because I see some breeders lose a lot of puppies at birth is that normal? I'm not being critical. I want to be proactive by increasing my knowledge on having healthy litters, and I want to prevent losing puppies. I've not lost any puppies, and I want to do my best to keep it that way if possible. Yeah, well, of course.
There's a thing called Brucellosis. It's a sexual transmitted disease that dogs can get, and that can cause puppies dying.
Right.
Either at birth or a day or two later. Boys, heck, their cage. They're getting mean.
We've got a couple of platinum boys back here. Hey, be nice.
And you definitely want to, if you're buying an adult, you don't know her background history. Anytime you bring in a new adult dog, you want to do a DNA test. Do the brucellosis test. So you know that you're not bringing that into your kennel, because it'll wipe your whole kennel out.
Well, anytime you bring a dog into your place, you'd have a 2-week quarantine too.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Separate dogs, make sure there's nothing. Because look, if you brought a dog in that had been infected with parvo, you might not know about it for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
It gets around all your other dogs, and next thing you know, every dog you've got's got parvo. Right, yeah. But look,
Yeah.
But
the other reason why for dead puppies is sometimes some people take puppies too early. The veterinarian talks
this
them
is
into
the most common
an
cause.
early C-section
Yes.
because they're going to be gone, they're not going to be around, they don't want to come in late at night. This is some veterinarians. There's other veterinarians that are fantastic, they're patient, they wait, they don't mind the late call. But with the progesterone test and stuff, you can pretty well guess for sure what date
You can get it right.
Yeah, you can get it right. But that you're asking about
I could show you a picture from
puppies
a
dying.
customer from Hawaii today
it's terrible.
who was interested in one of our stud dogs, and I
When
asked
they're taken early, 3 days early
Yeah.
even,
I asked about previous
die.
litters. She showed me a picture of 4 puppies that dog had had, and I could look at that picture, and instantly I knew that they'd screwed up. And I said, "Did those puppies survive?" They said, "No, we lost 3 out of the 4."
There's no hair on their
And the
face.
hair on their faces more than 3 days or more early, they're not going to survive.
Well, you do a first day breeding and a second day breeding, and that's usually a day in between there. So if you're taking them early on the first due date, or the second due date, you're taking them
Right.
3
So
and 5 days early sometimes.
I've got a whole
So
bunch of
don't
videos
do
on
that.
this.
Yeah.
Look, the biggest thing, Frenchies have C-sections.
What
Frenchies
are the
don't
reasons?
have C-sections. Will have problems anyway sometimes.
Yeah.
So Frenchies have C-sections.
There's sometimes that the mama dog goes into early labor and you can't.
Right.
help it.
But the point here is this is completely under control.
But-
Frenchies have
yeah.
C-sections. If you have C-sections early, you're going to run into problems, I promise you. It's a mistake that you can avoid, and it's a mistake that vets make a lot, and it's upon you to learn about this, and there's videos we've put together to protect
Some
you.
vets.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I mean 10% get it wrong. So you asked about some causes of puppies dying,
Early.
particularly early and right at birth. That is the number 1 reason.
Yeah.
The number 2 reason and number 3 reason
Boys.
is getting cold, getting squished.
Yes. Yep.
And we have a solution for that too. And it's
Yeah.
called our patented whelping system.
Yep.
So we have a patented whelping system, and it is designed to go into any crate. They're having a good time, aren't they? It's designed to go into any crate, and basically it puts a perimeter around the inside, so you've got a what's called a pig rail where the puppies can get underneath so they can't get squashed up against the wall. And then there's a heater right underneath that area, so the puppies migrate to that safe zone, and if they're not nursing on mum, they're under this safe place, the pig rail. That, I think, is another thing that I think that everybody should have. Of course, you have to buy it from us. It's patented by us, but it absolutely works. So those are reasons 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And where you go for that information is www.mybreedersupply.com.
And reason number 4 is things like canine herpes virus. You can test for that. Canine herpes virus, typically you start losing puppies at about day 4 or 5. By the way, if you take them early, you typically have no fur on the face, you start losing those puppies about 48 hours in. And then you can have other things like mums that would fail milk. You need to have the right equipment on hand so that you can supplement it with goat's milk, with bottles and tube feeding. And then the last thing I think that should be mentioned is you should probably have an incubator. And that's something else that we
Yeah, the
manufacture.
traveling incubator.
Yeah, if you've got a sick or weak puppy, the first thing you've got to do is get its temperature up. And you do that by putting it in incubator.
Yeah.
So, a long-winded answer to a very good question. That I promise you, if you do enough of this, unfortunately, you are going to lose some puppies. Now, occasionally you might see a cleft palate puppy, you're probably not going to save it, but the majority of those things are completely under your control to take care of. And if you do a good job, then you will significantly reduce your chances of losing a puppy. And losing a puppy is no fun. I mean, it just makes you feel awful.
It breaks your heart.
Yeah, it just makes you feel awful. You feel like you've let... And here's the other final part about this is, if this does happen to you, make it a learning experience for you and for other people. Try to find out what went wrong.
And correct it the next time.
Correct it the next time.
You learn by your mistakes.
You do.
We've been doing this for 16 years.
Yeah, you learn by your mistakes.
It's happened to us, and it's not a good day when that happens.
And hopefully these videos let you learn by other people's mistakes. Yeah. So, but a great question, and I think that a person who wants to be proactive about this before they ever really get into this is a smart person.
Yeah, she's doing her homework.
Doing her homework, good for her. Hey, this is 21 minutes, so for the person who wanted, I didn't like our 10-minute ones, I hope you got your notepad out. There will be a test on this.
You asked for it.
So from James and Tammy, we say thank you very much. And hey, if you like this, we'd really like it if you subscribe to our channel. So have a great day, everybody. Bye.